What up, my boos? Welcome back to the channel. So we are here with another belly update. You know, I'm going to show y'all the belly today, but I'm also going to give you guys some information on how and what I experienced for the week of 13 and the week of 14. So I'm currently today, hold on. All right, so I'm actually 14 weeks and 5 days right now. So I'm almost 15 weeks. And I'm in my second trimester. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, I'm so excited because I still got some time for, you know, delivering everything, but I just feel like that's just like right around the corners, you know. And my app says I have 176 days left of my pregnancy, which sounds like a lot, but I like to put it in the week forms as well. 26 more weeks until baby is here. Before we get into the full details about 14 weeks, I'm going to rewind back for 13 week of pregnancy, which was last week for me. Baby was the size of I think a pea, it was of a pea pad. Baby is the size of a pea pad. So the lengthwise is 3 inches, weight wise 3.5 ounces. 13 week of pregnancy, I believe I'm gonna have like insert some clips and stuff like that. So I finally had my first doctor visit with my high risk pregnancy center place. If you are watching for the first time, I'm just gonna briefly let you guys know why I'm high risk, but I have more details on that on my original first pregnancy that I did for this pregnancy. Like, I talk more detail about it, but just a brief information. Due to my very first pregnancy, I did have to get this procedure called the cerclage, which was when I had to get my cervix sewed up. So being that that was my first pregnancy, ever since then I was considered high risk because I was told that it could happen again in my future pregnancy, or it cannot happen at all. And for them to be safe, I'm considered high risk, so that way I won't have that situation again, or if I do have it, they'll be easy to catch it because I'm seeing a high risk doctor. And with the high risk doctor, you're getting seen very frequently, which I really love. So I kind of am excited and appreciative that I am high risk, because I feel like with the regular OBG, like, they don't really check everything. Like, I think you get like 2 ultrasound visits, and then they just do like the heartbeat Doppler thing where they don't even get to see what's going on inside your stomach. Like, I feel like those appointments are a waste of time. I don't know if everybody OBG does that. Out here they do, and it's just, I feel like it's just a waste of an appointment because it's so much that can go on. Like, even though the baby heartbeat can sound good and everything, there can still be some other complications that you guys cannot catch when you're just listening to the heartbeat. Like, the fluid can run out, baby can be all tangled up inside her umbilical cord, like many other things. Like, maybe baby's not fully developing. So that's why I like my high risk people, because frequent visible ultrasounds, and I just absolutely love it. So even if you're not a high risk, I do recommend to get your baby checked out more frequently. You can look in your local areas. I believe a lot of places have like their own special OBGYN ultrasound places where it's not, we're not an OBGYN, because like it's a place out here in Vegas and it's called See My Baby. So if you're out here, check them out. You don't have to have a doctor's appointment with them. They do a little bit of walk-ins, but it's best to schedule just an appointment with them. And it's just an ultrasound. It's a visible ultrasound. You can go as many times as you want. You do have to pay every time you go, but the prices are very affordable. I think my first visit was 6 weeks and I only paid like 25 or 30 bucks. I got a CD with that. I got a USB drive, and of course pictures to go along with that visit of all my ultrasound, you know, stuff that they did. So that was perfect. So I think I might go again, depending on how frequent my high risk appointments are going to be. But if not, I can save my coins and just stick to my people. Okay, I am very winded, as you guys can hear in my voice. I can't help it. My nose has been like congested in a sense, so that's like a new pregnancy scent of mine. I mean, besides me being winded, I was like this the moment I found out I was pregnant, but I gotta constantly keep taking like a breath. So I think it's best if I speak a little bit slower, because I know I get excited and I talk fast to the point I am making myself run out of breath. So I'm gonna try my best to talk a little bit more slower so that I won't be so winded so quickly. So like I said, I had my first high risk doctor's appointment last week. I was excited, nervous at the same time. Have your first high risk doctor appointment. They do all the scary stuff. They do all the blood work and they're going to do the screening for all this ultrasound just to make sure everything is correct with the baby. And of course, everyone is paranoid when it comes to that because we always all want our baby to be okay, safe, developing correctly, of course. So I had 2 appointments within that one day. So the first appointment was an actual, like, how do they describe it? It's like you're talking to like a therapist in a sense, is how they put it. So you go in a room, she talks to you and asks about your bloodline and pretty much like your history of any type of like Down syndrome, heart attacks, high blood pressure, cancer and stuff like that, just to see, you know, how the pattern goes and stuff like that. And then they ask about your partner's background as well. So I gave her all that information, and then it came down to the scary part on doing different type of blood work. I did say yes for everything. I wanted to see everything because now this is something totally new that I did not have in my previous pregnancies, is that they can determine just by your blood if you are carrying the autism gene. And I did not know that was even existable, if that's a word. Like, I didn't even know it exists. So I was really surprised when she told me that. I was like, oh my gosh, like I do have 2 kids that I just recently had that are being, you know, diagnosed with autism. Like, they're doing a therapy session. They haven't been fully diagnosed with it, but they're getting treated for it. So I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you guys can treat that. I'm like, do you guys see it in the ultrasound? Like, does it look different? And she was like, no, it goes off of your blood work. So she asked if I wanted to get that done just to see if I carried that gene or if it was coming from dad's side, or it's just, you know, it's just a coincidence that I have 2 kids who have autism. So I told her yes, I wanted to get that done. The results for that takes a couple of weeks, so I'm waiting for those results to come back. But I did do the Down syndrome, and I forgot the other one. It's kind of something like that in that family. Like, it's like I forgot what it's called, but those tests came in within a week. So I got those done as well, and there was other stuff that I wanted to get checked when it came down to the history of our bloodline and everything like that. Once I got done doing that talk, I then went back into the ultrasound area, and that's when I got my my visit. And y'all, oh my goodness. So I'm even going to insert some pictures so you guys can see it. Another good thing about this place, y'all, they don't give me like paper ultrasound pictures. They text message me. So I already have my ultrasound pictures on my phone. So I am going to later insert the pictures so you guys can see. Now, she didn't give me that many good pictures. And that's because I told her I did not want to know the sex of my baby. I told her I wanted to hold off and keep it a surprise. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it as a surprise or how long I can hold off, period. But I told her at that moment I was just not ready to know what the sex of the baby is. So as she was doing like the ultrasound, she was looking at the, you know, the growing area, and I kind of seen what it was. I'm not an expert on reading these ultrasounds, so I'd be like, is that what I think it is? Is that a leg? Is that an arm? I don't know. So it'd be hard just to look at it, because like my gut says I'm having a girl, but when I seen that ultrasound and what she was doing, for a minute it looked like it was a boy down there. I'm just saying, I was like, if it is, like, this is going to be totally a surprise, because I feel like my symptoms are leaning towards a girl. But to see that, I was like, is that really a boy? So I'm not sure. So now I don't know what I'm carrying right now. So the visit went well. You know, we talked, laughed. I also will probably insert like a little video clip, because the kids were not allowed to come in this visit due to the pandemic and everything. So that was something new, because I was able to bring my other kids through my other pregnancy, because it was like a family place and stuff like that. But now with this whole pandemic, it's only one person allowed back there, and of course they had to be an adult. Meaning that I had my kids with me. Robert was not able to come along with me for this doctor visit, so I did FaceTime him. So I would insert, like, you guys can see like the actual movement and stuff of the baby, so that way you guys can see it that way. And yeah, so the visit went well. After she did all that, the nurse, you know, stepped out, and she came back. She's like, okay, I'm gonna have your actual high-risk doctor to come in and talk to you. And I really got nervous, because I was like, oh my gosh, what did you guys see on the ultrasound? You know, I'm getting paranoid already. So she came back, she said, honestly, she said, I don't really have anything to tell you. She said, everything looks great. She said, baby is healthy, everything is fully developed. I don't see any Down syndrome symptoms and stuff like that in the baby. She said, but we're still going to confirm with the blood work. She said, baby looks healthy, baby is growing great. looks good. And I was excited. I was like, yay. And she's like, but there is one thing we need to talk about. And I was like, what? I said, I just got excited. What are you going to talk about? My weight. I knew it was going to be an issue. I just know it was going to be an issue right away. So she said, with my weight, she said, I am too much for what I am, for my age, for my height. And I was like, I'm fully aware of that because I did not lose any of my weight from my past 2 pregnancies that I had. So I knew I was still thickums, you know, plus size, but I didn't think I was going to be considered a high risk target because of the number that they seen. And currently I'm only 208. I haven't gained any weight since this pregnancy, since the beginning. I think I probably gained like 1 pound, but 208 is my weight and that's all I am. And I think I've been doing pretty good. So she pretty much talked to me. And I hate when doctors like put a target on your, I'm so sorry if my kids are loud, y'all, but they're right here by my room. But doctors put like a target on your weight number. Like they expect for everybody to be, who's in this height category, who's in this age category, to be this one number. Like everybody's supposed to be in this one bracket of numbers. I'm just like, no. Like honestly, I feel like the weight that I'm carrying number wise, it looks good on me. It really does. I don't feel unhealthy or anything like that. But she's pretty much saying right away, she was like, we don't want you to gain any weight if possible. We're hoping if you can at least maintain it, and it is possible if you can lose weight. And I'm like, don't no pregnant woman want to hear, hey, we think you need to lose weight while you're pregnant. Like this is the time where our cravings and everything, it's like bizarre. But I was just listening, taking in her consideration. I'm like, yes, I am honestly doing the best that I possibly can for this pregnancy this time around, because I knew my weight number was going to be a borderline of a risk. And the reason why they're so concerned about my number and why I would be even more high risk is that I can get the, what is it called? I forgot the correct term it is, but it's diabetes from when you get from pregnancy. Now, sometimes you'll get sometimes you would get this during pregnancy because you're gaining too much weight and you do become a diabetic, but then it goes away once you have a kid, and that is sometimes. So that's pretty risky. I do know a couple of people who was diagnosed with the diabetes while pregnant, and they did continue having diabetes once the baby was here. So that is very scary and to be very, you know, concerned about. So I know that's nothing to play with, but it's just like no one wants to hear they need to lose weight while they're pregnant. Like it's just, I just wasn't ready for that. So they are trying to test me for my glucose test very early, because usually they do that around like 25 weeks. But she was like, no, we want to do this as soon as possible, so that way we can catch any like radar that you might have the diabetes and stuff like that, so we can take more consideration and probably put you on medication if it gets to that. So I understood her concern and everything like that. I just didn't like for it to be presented right then and there. Like she could have told me that my 3rd visit or whatever like that, or I don't know. Like I explained everything to her. I was like, I did recently have 2 pregnancies. I didn't lose any other weight, so that's why I have this. And then she started to ask, well, how do you eat? What do you eat? I'm like, ma'am, I know how to eat healthy. Like we don't need to play this. And she's like, do you know how your plate's supposed to look like? You know, the vegetables, your whole grains and your protein, just smaller proportion. I'm like, ma'am, trust me. I know all about the fitness and the weight loss. I just have to do it. Like, and honestly, y'all, I have been doing good. That's why you guys can see from my what I eat in a day type of videos. That's why I like to include them, because I don't feel like I eat that much. I can probably smaller my proportions, but like I said, I don't feel like I'm eating a lot for my pregnancy, especially right now. And I am drinking a lot more water. I don't drink juices or sodas like that. The only juice I do drink is apple juice and cranberry. I am watering down those drinks because they do come off a little bit too sweet for me. So I don't know. I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna pray I can do the best that I can do, but it's just, I ain't gonna lie, it did kind of like, what's the word? It made me like a little bit irritable, because now I'm like watching even more on what I eat, which is a good thing, but it's just like now I feel like I can't partially fully enjoy my pregnancy like I was, because that's always in the back of my mind now, like, oh, don't eat that because you don't want to have, oh, don't eat that because you don't want to become a diabetic. Oh, don't eat that, you're going to gain a pound. You don't want to gain a pound, they're going to say something. So Anywho, so that was pretty much it for week 13. I didn't have any other symptoms besides feeling winded. Of course, baby movement, I still was able to feel that. Oh, I have a new craving for week 13. Week 13 definitely introduced me into yogurt. I do not like yogurt. I do not like yogurt at all. I never ate yogurt in my life. I tasted it before and hated it, but I love Greek yogurt. Not just regular yogurt, Greek strawberry yogurt. Why am I craving that? I don't know. But I've been eating that with strawberries, and y'all, it tastes so freaking amazing. And now I started adding whipped cream to it. Y'all cannot tell me nothing. That combo is beautiful. It's amazing. It's delicious. It's healthy. And I'm thinking about it right now, so I'm definitely gonna have that when I get done filming this. But that has been a new introduction of cravings for me that I would never typically crave at all. All right, so now transitioning really quickly to week 14. Pretty much the same symptoms, the same. Like I said, the yogurt and strawberry has definitely been a very new craving for me. As for my appetite, it's pretty much the same. Like, I'm able to eat any and everything without having like that nauseous feeling like I was feeling in the beginning of the pregnancy. My energy is definitely back. I'm able to survive off of 4 or 5 hours of sleep, you know, because of my kids not having a good sleeping schedule, and I'm still fine. And I just continue to drinking my water and stuff like that and eating right. Like I said, I do want to try to get back into the gym now that I'm in my second trimester. I was just trying to be careful for my first one because I didn't want to have any miscarriage scares or anything like that. So now that I have transitioned into second trimester, I think I'm going to try to get back into fitness, because I was doing the fitness in the beginning of my pregnancy, and then I stopped because I just became too exhausted, too tired, too weak. So now that my energy is back, I want to get back into that, whether if it's me going to the gym or just doing home workouts. I definitely want to get back into the swing of things when it comes to my fitness. I think it was something else. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell y'all. But now I'm having a brain fart and I don't even know what I did with my pregnancy notes. So I'm just talking from the top of my head because I don't know where everything is at. But like I said, we're on week 14. I will give you guys an update on what baby is looking like right now. Week 14, like I said, I have 176 days left of pregnancy, 26 weeks left of pregnancy, and baby is now, so the baby app says baby is now making faces. Thanks to the brain, its facial muscles are getting a workout as his or her tiny futures form one expression to another. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Your baby also starts to make sucking and chewing movements, and you'll probably see these during the ultrasound visits. This is amazing. So, oh my gosh, like I didn't know they would do all this like so right away. Like, this is crazy. It says growing, his body's growing faster than his head, which now sits upon a more distant neck. His arms are growing more in proportion to the rest of his or her body. His or her legs still have some lengthening to do. It says, though you can't feel tiny punches or kicks yet, your little one hands and feet are more flexible and active. Fingernails and toenails start to form this week as well. And as for the punching, baby kicks and stuff, that's a lie. I feel it. I don't know what I got in here and this time around, but like I said, I've been feeling movement since 9 weeks pregnant, and I'm not tripping. Like, I know what a baby movement feels like. It's not frequent. Like, I'm not feeling like all day every day. Like, sometimes I feel it like twice a day, once a week. Well, not once a week, but like every other day. But now I'm definitely probably like feeling like maybe like 3 or 4 movements a day, and they're like very light movements. Like, I probably would feel more if I'm like concentrating on my stomach, but then I feel like the baby would give me like a good like 2 or 3 movements that's like really noticeable. So I'm like, oh, I forgot I was pregnant. Hey there, how you doing, buddy? Hey. You know, so it's like, oh my god, it's like that little reminder, like, girl, you're pregnant. Like, you got a human being growing in you. I feel like that's when it really sits in reality. Like, not when your cravings, not the sickness, not the belly growing. I think for me, the moment of when it finally hits me is when I fully start to feel the movements to the point where you can actually see the movements just looking down on your belly. I feel like that's when it hits me, like, oh my gosh, like, I have a human being literally growing inside of me. An update about the blood test. So I did get a call yesterday from the doctor. So definitely I don't have the bloodline of the Down syndrome and the other thing that I can't think of. So it was definitely a clear for that. And this is something new that I was not aware that they can do. But they can tell you the sex of the baby by your blood. When like I just recently had a kid 2 years ago and they did not have that available. So it's just crazy to see how like everything is like changing with the techniques in the blood. Like everything's like changing, like it's so advanced now. So now you can tell the sex of what you're having, the sex of the baby by your blood. So I'm like, how is it? Like, is your blood more heavier? Like what, like how can you tell the difference of the sex? So when she called me to tell me about the Down syndrome and everything like that, and I was like, oh, okay, thank you. She said everything came back normal, you're good. She said I'm still waiting for the other results for the autism and everything else. And I said, okay, you did tell me it's going to take a few more weeks, so I'm fully aware of that. But then she was like, yeah, she said, and also with this blood thing that we did, she was like, would you like to know the sex of the baby? My mouth dropped, y'all. My mouth dropped, and it was like an awkward silence on the phone. I was like, and I was so tempted to say yes, because I was the only one at home, and I can keep a secret. Like I can keep a secret. Like I wasn't gonna blab it up, and I mean blab it out and, you know, say anything. And I was like, can I? Do I want to know? And I was like, no. I told her right away. I said, no, don't tell me. I'm not ready. I was like, no, let's continue to keep this a secret. I was like, I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this a secret, but I was like, no, just not yet, you know? She was like, okay, perfect. She said, what I'll do, she said, I'll just put the sex of the baby inside of an envelope. She said, I'll either mail it to you or I'll have it for you available for your next doctor's appointment. And I was like, okay, perfect. But I'm still in shock. I was like, since when have they been doing this? Like, am I old to this, new to this? Like, what's up? Y'all let me know that this has been a thing. Like, I'm telling you, like, they didn't tell me any of this. But yes, y'all want to see the belly, so let me quickly show y'all my belly view, and then I'm going to close this video off. I know this was a long chatty one, but I think for sure after this I'm going to come back weekly, because I feel like I'm going to be having more of a detailed type of what's going on, being that I'm going to be seeing my high-risk doctor so frequently now, because they already scheduled me 3 appointments within 2 months. So I'm getting seen every 2 weeks for the first 2 visits, and then it's going to drop down to every 3 weeks for the next visits after that. So I'll have more like pictures and more updates, and you know, any other like high risk questions that you guys might be concerned that I can inform you guys on. So I'll come back weekly instead of doing like every 2 weeks. I don't wear a different color because I know lately I've just been wearing black all the time, but now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, you still can't really see the form of my belly. So I guess whatever. But this is the front shot of my belly, and I do have on a belly band, but you can still see my undies. Yeah, okay. But this is the front of the belly. I can see recognition in public now, so this definitely looks like a full-on pregnancy belly, not a fat girl who just ate Thanksgiving dinner. People are definitely aware that I'm pregnant, and it kind of, you know, caught me off guard when I had a few people like, oh my gosh, what are you having? I'm like, what do you mean, what am I having? What, having for lunch? And then I had to realize, like, girl, you're pregnant. They're talking about the belly. So yes, this is the baby. Yes, that is it. Baby is growing. I'm excited. I am just really happy. But I do want to know from y'all, from my belly view, let me know what is y'all prediction on what I'm going to have. I still feel like it might be like, I want to say like it's like 50%, like it's no, not even 50%. I want to say 75% I'm thinking girl, and then the 25% I'm thinking boy. And I'm only thinking that because I'm thinking what I seen in that ultrasound picture. That's the only reason. Otherwise I would have been a 100% girl. But I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all prediction is. What am I carrying? I would like to see what you guys can predict and see who's gonna be right at the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a beautiful day. Stay blessed, stay amazing, and of course I'll see you guys on my next pregnancy update. Bye.